I was pissing my pants laughing.
Do you want a little exclusive, Sam?
Go on, give it to me. Welcome to Snatch, Gay Times' original series, where each week we are chatting with the queens of Canada's Drag Race, Canada vs. the World Season 2. I'm here with finalists Lemon and Cheryl Hole. How are you both doing?
Oh my God, never been better.
Can you believe that you can finally say finalist?
Well, it's the same for you too, right, Lemon? Because you made...
Me too. This is my very first finale. So me and Shaz are both so happy to have finally made it.
About damn time.
As Cheryl Hole and Lemon Stan, I am very happy that you're both here, especially because you two were, hopefully I don't get in trouble for this, majorly shafted in the past. Cheryl with your makeover, which you should have won.
Yes.
And Lemon on UK versus the World season 1. Enough said. So do you feel vindicated that you're here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, me and Cheryl were together on UK versus the World, and we were first and second out. And we got back to that hotel room and spent so much time, together laughing about the situation, but also being like, what the heck just happened to us? So it feels very, it feels right that we finally get another chance, and I'm so thankful. I know there were some fans who weren't so happy to see a third and fourth returnee on our season, but you know what? Like, as an artist, I'm never gonna stop, and Shez is never gonna stop, and Alexis is never gonna stop. And if they call me and say, "You want to go on TV?" I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
I feel that energy, Lemon. I really do. Because I felt like we were not given a chance to show where we were at that time. And I know it's the same for everybody else that goes out early in these competitions. So my heart broke for Gehenna and for LaPhil because we had been in those shoes. But unfortunately, it's the nature of the game. And we know how it happens. And we know now from our experiences that you can come back because you're never done growing as an artist. You are constantly growing and evolving. So to be able to show where I was and where I am in 2024, as opposed to where I was in 2019, 2021. So we've come a long way.
This whole debate about 3 or 4 timers, it's so tired to me, because as someone who's watched every season, every franchise, are you telling me that you don't want Queens, you two, back on our screen? We wouldn't have had the iconic Manila elimination on All Stars 4 if she didn't come back for the 3rd time. We wouldn't have had Shay or Monet or Trinity on All Winners. Do you know what I mean? So it's baffling to me.
Crazy to me, because I'm like, we watch like a scripted show, and how many seasons of Grey's Anatomy can we watch? How many times are we going to see Meredith Grey on screen? And no one's complaining. I love that bitch. I'll watch 20 more seasons of it, but as soon as it's drag queens.
We've seen Meredith Grey lose a loved one more times than
no spoilers. I'm only on season 13, please.
Only season 13. I gave up season 15. I couldn't do it anymore. I did my time.
You did your time, you split your bread.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think if Cheryl or I don't win this season, I think both of us will come back until season 25. So let's roll.
When we do, All Stars, All Winners too.
No, I said to Eureka last week, I was like, I don't mind if you come back a 5th, a 6th time. I want more of you on my screens, and people should shut the fuck up.
I am the British Jujubee now, so...
Period. Yeah. I think it's just nice too, because, Eureka especially, it's like, since the last time she's been on the show, she's a completely different person, literally. She's come out and she's finally living authentically and living in her true self. And I feel like, for trans people, it's very different living with this kind of mask on of trying to hide that side of you. And now to see her in this, I feel like she had like fully realized who she was, and it was a kinder, softer, more gentle person. And it was really, really nice getting to like know that side of Eureka. So I was so thankful to see her and to see her get another chance, especially because there have been times in the past where I feel she's judged so harshly. And it was nice to like get her in a sweeter, softer way, for sure.
And for both of you, this has undeniably been your best ever season of Drag Race. It's like in Pokemon, innit? When they go into their final form.
Yes, our
final evolution.
So I wanted to ask you, Lemon, what was your favorite Cheryl moment on this season, and vice versa?
Ooh, I mean, honestly, Cheryl entered this competition and had dropped the hole. And then episode 2, they said, this week's challenge is the hole. And watching Cheryl in that challenge, she was so funny. She was so on fire. She was so there and so present. And yeah, I mean, me and Cheryl have been friends for long before international seasons of Drag Race even existed. And so to see her like, you know, nailing this challenge like that was really refreshing and just nice. And I've always been a diehard Cheryl Hole fan, so I was pissing my pants laughing.
Do you want a
When
little exclusive, Sam?
Go on, give it to me.
This is a Snatched Gay Times exclusive. I was actually really sick on set on the day of the hole.
She was.
Really?
I had to go see the medic after our first scene because I was so hot, but I was cold. Like, you touched me and I was cold, but I felt so hot. And they were making me drink like electrolytes. I was like shaking. Um, but I was like, I'm not being taken out in this competition. I'm not letting my body say no. So it was mind over matter. So in those scenes with Lisa Rinna, I'm surprised when I pulled my finger out of my handbag that I wasn't like, shit.
I'm shocked because when you immediately came out and was like, "Oh, it's Brad," you can do it better than me. I cackled so much, and I immediately was like, "She's won. She's won this fucking challenge." So you were ill.
Yep, sick as a dog, shaking.
Well done.
My favorite Lemon moment has got to be watching her absolutely smash it last week in Snatch Game the Rusical, because we both came in knowing exactly what roles we wanted, and for me, I knew I was not going to win the fight for that role that she wanted, so I went, "You have that. I'm going to go for the ballad and try and show a different range of me," because I knew Lemon was going to absolutely mop the floor with this performance, and that she did. And when I tell you, I wish they kept in the bit where she went, "You stole my Rod Stewart CD," and with this the entire time, I was like, "Oh my god, stop it!" We were just howling during Snatch Game.
Yeah, Snatch Game was so much fun. And I feel like because it was so different from a normal Snatch Game, it was also just like for both of us, we were just excited to like have a different experience with Snatch Game.
And what's been really incredible to watch as a viewer and a fan this season of Canada versus World, it's not been afraid to shake up the format of Drag Race. For example,
Oh,
the Rusical. So what are your thoughts on that? The way they're just completely unafraid to go against what Drag Race is kind of known for, really.
Canada does this a lot where they kind of like do something that's never been done before, or just kind of they like to fuck it up, and as a Canadian, I feel like that's the vibe always. That's what we like to do is take what's already good and just play with it and make it better, or sometimes make it worse, but hey, isn't it entertaining either way? So yeah, there was a lot of things that we were just like, oh my God, this is the most meta, most difficult challenge. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't even know, who I am at this moment. But I think that kind of added to the element of like fun and competition, because I always say Drag Race feels like going away to summer camp. And then, like, instead of you coming home and having to say, like, oh my God, my friends at camp are so cool, it's like everyone gets to watch it on TV. But this was like the most intense, like, arts summer camp I've ever been to. And it was so much fun, even though 80% of the time I had no fucking idea what I was doing.
You and me both, sister. You and me both. I I had the best time because I never like to go in knowing what's going to happen. Like, it's so hard not to hear the whispers of like who's going to be there, what could be potentially happening. But knowing that the return of the beaver that was shaking up the format for us, knowing that you could fight for your own place in the competition as opposed to just pleading, because we've both been there and it didn't work out for either of us. So this time round, I genuinely was so happy that I got to showcase all my skill set that I have. Plus, also, if I landed in that position, I was able to fight for my position. And to say that everybody was rooting for everybody, it was 1000% true because we all got on so well. As much as Fierce hates us all. She doesn't really.
She's a good time gal. She's here to make good TV.
I love Fierce. What was it like to share a season with the Wowie winner? What was that like for you both?
Well, I actually won the Wowie before she did. So, so for me, it was normal. It felt like I was hanging out with my step down princess. But yeah, Fierce is a lot of fun. She's certainly crazy in so many different ways. But at the end of the day, I do very much see Fierce as a little sister, even though we're the same age. But I very much do see her as a little sister. So it was like nice to see her there and shining and getting a second chance at this. And hey, hopefully she gets a third chance too.
I don't see a world in which Fierce doesn't come back on our television screens. She will be on every season until she wins, and then be on every season that has winners.
Oh, but don't you just hate it when queens come back for a third time? Oh, God, I hate it.
I'm
My
so
God,
sick of it.
give someone else a chance.
As well as Fierce, you shared this season with some other legends, such as Alexis, Mateo, and Kennedy Davenport, who you were in a finale with. When they sashayed into not the workroom, the stage, did you think, oh, shit, because of their reputations?
Yes and no. I always admire those two to the end because firstly, they've paved the way. They were doing drag well before Drag Race and really cemented this industry as a hard working grafting career. And those two were just so much fun to be around. But at the start of this competition, I said, no, you are not letting anybody put you below your pedestal. You are top of the ranking and you are going to be there every week. So I had to flip that mindset and just be like, we're divas, we're besties, we're doing the damn thing, but I'm not having anybody be above me. I've got to be at the top with everybody beside me.
Yeah, I honestly felt exactly the same way as Cheryl. I was on tour with Kennedy for a few months, and Alexis and I were right beside each other at DragCon. So I had met both of them before and kind of worked with both of them. And they are both like good Judies through and through. Like those are sisters, those are professional people. Those are, I do love them and have so much respect for them. But in a competition like this, me and Cheryl know firsthand anything is possible on Drag Race. So you can't walk in and think, oh, well, she's a legend, she's a legend. You just have to walk in thinking like I'm a fucking legend too. And no matter who's here, what they've done outside of these four walls, it's about what happens here and now. And I think that's how we all played it. At least that's how I played it. So my intention was to just kind of focus on this moment and let go of any past any past successes or failures, so it was just kind of focusing on like this round.
I agree, Lemon. It's so easy just to get caught up with being like, oh my God, everybody's a legend. But me and Lemon are in the final with two iconic legends. And it has been such an honor to share this journey all the way to the end with those three. I'm like everybody's hype girl. Lemon actually had to call me the other day and tell me to be my own hype girl because I was too busy gassing everybody else up.
It's what Cheryl does. She's like, trying to post all these things about all three of us and how amazing. I'm like, girl, post about you. Post about you.
Can't
Yeah.
help it.
But I think it's nice because we're all it felt very much like sisters in a dressing room vibe. It didn't feel like a competitive, like evil atmosphere. It felt very like we all wanted each other to do great and we all wanted ourselves to do the best. And I think that's all you can really ask for in a competition like this because it does get a little nasty when people enter it kind of thinking about it in like a shady competition. How can I, sabotage these other girls? Not to bring up Fierce again. No, I'm kidding. But I feel like it was just nice to have girls like that who were like very confident in themselves and aren't afraid to just compete fairly.
Cheryl, it literally pains me to say that you are once again no badge shares. Pains me. I've been screaming at my screen. You know this. I've been screaming at my screen. But also, really, you are Cheryl. You are Cheryl
Yeah.
Hole. You don't need a badge, and I hope you realize that you don't need a motherfucking badge to be the icon that you are, right?
If this was a top 2 regular UK versus the world, Canada versus the world,
Mhm.
I definitely would have had at least
Three.
3 top 2 placements. So, that is the win in itself. I'm just so grateful that win, lose, draw, whatever happens this finale, I can say, hand on heart, I smashed and was in the top 4 out of 5 challenges. I was also in the finale of a season, and I can say that I was so proud of what I achieved. And yes, a little cash tip would have been nice, but I'm winning because I'm rich in life.
But Le Philippe just won a season of France with absolutely no wins because she was so consistent throughout the competition. And I'm just saying it's still possible that Cheryl's first ever win on Drag Race is the tiara. So I'm saying anything's possible. You never know.
I'm so excited for this finale because all 4 of the queens in finale are massive lip sync assassins. Lemon, we've not seen you lip sync once this entire season. So what can you tease what we can expect from you?
Well, one of the things that they did cut out of the season, and I'm really glad that they did, is I jokingly was asked, what my biggest regret of the season was, and I said, it's been really hard for me because all the bottom girls get to change into their gorgeous lip sync outfits, and I'm not allowed to change and show off all my gorgeous looks. So, glad they cut that because it was me being a little bitch, but. Now in the finale, we get a lip sync Lollapalooza, and I get to potentially wear 2 sickening lip sync looks. So that's all I can say is I'm just excited because I was prepared. I came with outfits and wigs galore, and I was so excited to wear them. And yeah, I definitely have some tricks up my sleeve, some things I have never done on Drag Race before. So yeah, I think the crazy thing about this is, like, when I walked into the workroom, I looked at all of the performers and thought, like, "Fuck, everyone here can turn it out." You know what I mean? So it was one of those seasons where I'm glad it was a beaver and I'm glad there was a bottom 2 lip sync, only because the lip syncs this season were so entertaining that I was like, "Oh, we made history."
You!
Yeah.
I cannot wait. This is what when it's a lip sync Lollapalooza,
Mhm.
I go feral.
I love them. I think it's such a fun way to really, you know, at the end of the day, most of the time when you go see a drag queen, what is she doing? Basically lip syncing for her life. You know what I mean? Most of the time, that's what you see. Obviously, there's performers who have broken that mold for sure, but a lot of the queens are out there doing a little lip sync, and that's how we make our money. That's how we pay our bills. That's how we entertain the crowd. That's how we change, the energy in a space. So to be able to do this to potentially win a crown feels very like
Mm.
right, because it feels like it's what all of us are the best at. So it's like, who can really have this moment, you know?
Who's gonna make Brooke clap the hardest?
Who's gonna make Brooke clap?
And you two will kind of both make history if you win. I mean, Lemon as the first former pork chop, and
Mhm.
Cheryl as the first, yeah.
The first icon. No one else has been an icon yet.
So
It would
proud
be
of
Cheryl.
Following this season, what can we expect from you both?
I am working on my second EP, so hopefully that will be announced and dropped really soon. I have some incredible collaborations coming out with Marina Summers and Shea Coulee, so I am very excited for everyone to hear this album. It's a little bit more fun and more pop and more silly, goofy, girly. So yeah, that has been something I've fallen so in love with is writing music and recording. So a new album is definitely on the way, and I'm in talks with a lot of other things, and hopefully I'm going to tour the world. All the things a drag queen wants to be doing, I'm so lucky to be doing.
Lemon, can I just say that Sweet and Sour and 5678 have been on heavy rotation. I
Thank
love
you
them.
so much. Stream It's Not That Deep, my newest one.
Is there a music video?
There is not a music video, only because music videos are so expensive, but if I
Uh,
win, then there will be a music video. How about that?
and Cheryl, what about you?
Well, I can't say too much because I don't want to get sued. But I will be coming back to your ears in one variety or another very, very soon. It's in time for the spooky season, that's all I'll say.
Giving Kim Petras a run for her money.
There will be blood.
Ooh, ah.
But you two have not been on a song together. Wait, have I got that wrong? I swear you two have not been on a song together.
No, we've been on an album together, but we
Not
haven't done a song
together.
together. But it'll happen.
Technically, we have. Tongue Pop available now on all good stream platforms.
Tongue
the Slap.
Pop available now.
I need the Snatched and Come Through to come together on one song.
Yeah, it's time to snatch the come through of it all.
Yeah.
And that's on Tongue Pop.